Okay, hi there today. I want to talk about what I've been learning lately. So, yesterday the Lord had me in Luke. He was looking, Luke 21. I was looking around there. And last night he had me just looking at, he had this picture for me the whole night. And just throughout the whole night, this is the picture I saw. And it looked like there were headlights all along this whole thing. It was just completely lit up, and it looked like a highway from up above. It just looked like many, many automobiles on a highway. So I kind of looked at that. But let me back up a little bit. Yesterday, I think he was saying we're like this. Well, now we're like that. It's where he speaks, and it's kind of like Morse code, and we have to decipher where he wants us to go and kind of look into it, and it's really based on where the Spirit is leading us and listening hard to the Spirit and trying to go from there. So we, of course, have human minds, so there's human error in that, and so it's not perfection. But I think what he was saying is in the future, pretty soon here, when we're delivered, in the light bulb moment, when we're delivered here, it's going to be more like a one-on-one phone call. And I saw this as like maybe a necklace, maybe a pearl necklace, like a one-on-one phone call. So one thread, one line, one strand, one entire unit. And I think that happens around here. So anyways, that was yesterday. And again, he took me on a huge study in Luke, which was pretty interesting. Just that I think this is more Jerusalem, and this is Judea. And so when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, because that means they will have divided, and they will be where we used to be, where, I don't know, I guess last year, around this time, pretty much after September, I think, is about when it happened. Maybe September 1st, around then. It seemed like whatever I shared with the people that were the churchgoers, they rejected what I was saying. Some of them rejected what I was saying, and they just didn't want to hear it, and they called it, from the devil, and they didn't want to hear of it because it was something foreign. And so anyways, so I see that again parting here. And so when the little guys are here in the middle and the Christians are surrounding them, the ones that persecute the others, that's when I think we're going to see them take our place and we take the place up here. Okay, so I also want to look at, because he had me here with the highways, that led me to Isaiah 49:11, which is, I will make each of my mountains a road, and my highways shall be elevated. And I think that's, again, what he's saying here. This is the highway, and he's going to elevate us up into a highway here. This actually is really interesting. It has to do with Elijah. So I'm going to a little bit talk about that today too. Let me take you to today. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're talking about making the journey to the Jordan. To travel is to travail, which means journey. It's also a course, and it's an allotted amount of steps. Okay, so and then the highway actually is 4546, which means a course, a highway, a path, or steps. So that's interesting too. It also is from the word that's from thoroughfare, turnpike, viaduct, staircase, causeway, path, or terrace, which means to lift up, cast up, build, pile, or prize. It's where a toll is charged or a fare. So if you haven't paid your fare, then you probably will have to go back and re-earn your fare. Okay, so real quick, I want to talk about Lazarus and the rich man. That's in Luke 16:19 through 31. So I kept seeing someone here and someone here. And I think the rich man stands here because he never took the journey to Christ, which is here. So this is where the rich man stands. And remember that Lazarus was separated from the rich man when he died and carried across a gulf, and then that's where he was taken care of. He was joined with, celestial in the pocket, in the bosom, in the fold, this lap of luxury here. So I think this is kind of before Christ. This is before Christ. This is actually after Christ died. So this opened this whole up. And I think this is kind of like the new earth and the new heaven. So right now, this is how I got this whole idea of gulf. Because it seems like there's a chasm here, or a gulf, or there's some part of water in between here. Okay. So it's interesting to think the rich man ends up where he started. But Lazarus, which is across the gulf from him, where he can't see him, he ends up over here in Abraham's bosom. But I think since Christ died, I think Abraham's bosom has been done away with, and we just go straight to the Father. I think because we had that opportunity to receive, and you either take it or you don't. So that kind of eliminates the whole holding place of Abraham's bosom. Okay, so now I want to talk about Elijah. So Elijah, this is so interesting. So Elijah, say he starts here, because he starts in Gilgal, and he journeys, and he goes across to Bethel, and Bethel, he journeys again until he gets to Jericho, which is, remember, was a walls come down. And I think, again, that's what he's doing to us. He had our walls come down, and he sorted out what we had, and it was either keep it or throw it out and get rid of it. So that's where this happens. So it's funny that it's called Jericho. Okay? So then he journeys again, right? He comes up out of here, and he journeys. Remember, he started here. He journeys to the Jordan. Now, this is water here, so don't forget. He can't cross here without slapping his coat down. He has to go across on dry land because he's a part of the priesthood. And remember when the priests held the ark that they went across on dry land. Well, since Elijah received the anointing, he could also go across on dry land. So he slaps the River Jordan, and he goes across, and the whirlwind comes down and sucks him up, right? Okay, this is so cool. So this is the cross, and this is a whirlwind in here, right? Okay, so anyways, so it's interesting because Christ is our bridge. This is an ark, and Christ is our bridge. So we don't have to slap our mantle on the waterway here. He doesn't, because Christ died for us. He already slapped his mantle down. So he provides the bridge across, and there he meets us in the middle, and we are drawn up. It's interesting, that whole drawn up thing. Gilgal, this here, I looked it up in the concordance, and Google actually means circle, wheel, wheels, whirl, whirlwind, roll, take away, seek, occasion, or house of. So that's where he started. And this is where he ends, because they were going across. Remember, in the middle, Elisha took Elijah's coat, his mantle, and he went all the way across. So on the way back, let me see here. On the way back, I believe, yes, Elijah went up, Elisha went across. So Elisha took up Elijah's cloak, struck the waters, asked where God was, and then Elisha crossed over, and God's Spirit rested on Elisha. So I believe this is the spot that everything is kind of traded. Maybe this goes all the way down into the ark. Maybe that's it. Seems like it would do something like that. But anyway, there seems to be a transitioning here where I'm seeing the successor come through and receive what the retired person had. So it's also interesting to know that Matthew 24 talks about, I believe it's Matthew, or maybe it's Luke 21, talks about the one is taken, the other one is left. So Elijah would be taken, Elisha is left to carry on the duties of Elijah. And Elijah has to go back here, and then he's doing the journey again. 1, 2, picking up all those others, and when he comes up, he goes across and goes around, and then gets drawn up. So, anyways, I think that's really, really interesting, and the whole bridge thing. That the Lord is the bridge, Jesus is the bridge. Open the gates, the bridge, the promise, because the bridge looks like it's a rainbow. The bridge is a rainbow. So that's the promise fulfilled for us is here. The promise fulfilled. That's where he actually fulfills what he's promised, and it's the adoption and the resurrection all in one, I think, is what it looks like to me. So when these guys say to themselves, there's nowhere else to go, and we're surrounded on all sides, this would be Jerusalem, because they need to come into where we are, which means we go up where we need to be too. So those in Judea flee to the mountain, and the mountain is our first estate. This is where we get into Eden, right there. So be looking for that rising again. I believe that the first time this moment happened for me was about September 14th, 2013. So it'd be interesting to see what happens this year. I see up-and-comers, which is really exciting. I think I see a lot of people coming alive and discovering truths, and that's super encouraging. So anyways, I just wanted to say what I've been learning and everything. So blessings to you and yours. Thanks for watching.